echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found in the shadows.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Angelina. And I so agree with you, TGIF. So I hope everybody had that amazing day yesterday. Actually, it's a little bit hot in this house. So how do we look outside? I see lots of blue. Lots of blue, so that's a good thing. And now I'm sitting here looking at my cards, and it's like, was I about to do something with them? So, good morning, Jenna, and good morning, Maureen. It looks cold outside, but hey, I'm doing A-okay. I hope everybody else is. Again, I just have the gratitude that it's like I started doing this because I wanted to start getting frazzled this morning. I wanted to make my list, and I wanted to already start projecting on how the day's going to be and project my outcomes for the day. And so, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, instead of enjoying the moment, it's like, let's go ahead and just extend what the day is going to be like and then do that self-fulfilling prophecy. But having this, it's a reminder to stop and that I can just be in the moment. So I am grateful for everybody here. So I have a reason to remember this. So, because I was sitting there and trying to decide the cards. You know how I always say you just follow your instinct, and so decided to go with a deck I haven't used in a while. It's a local artist who made this deck, but it's a very cool deck. And so grabbed it, listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean, which reminds us to breathe. And when we breathe, it says, oh, okay, I can relax. So, I don't know about you guys. My feet are flat on the floor. And I'm rolling my ankles. God, that feels good. You know, you don't realize the simple things until you start doing them. And, you know, I never thought about just rolling my ankles. And gosh, that feels good. The calf and everything else. And then making sure my butt's comfortable with the kitty dance. And then checking in with our shoulders. That shoulder meter, see where they are. I still love pointing that out to somebody, looking at them, and I'll see the shoulders up here and just asking them the simple question. When's the last time you took a breath? And they laugh and they go, and watch your shoulders come down as they explain they've stopped breathing a long time ago. Then checking in with the neck. So, the name of the deck is the Black Violet Tarot. So, what are we doing here? We're checking in with the universe. Look and see if there's any angers or resentments, or like I was a little bit earlier, projecting, making a decision on how my day was going to go without analyzing the moment. So, taking a breath, and then, let's see. There we are. Taking a sip of coffee. See that this day's already going that much better. So a little bit of a, there you go. A deck for artists and dreamers. We originally got it because she also created a Ouija board to go with it. And as most of you know, I collect Ouija boards. With about 140 now hanging on our walls. If that's not crazy. So, what are we doing then? We're going to check in with the universe. So, or as I like to say, it's where the universe holds up a mirror, asks us what do we see, and we use the tarot as that reflection. So what am I going to do then? I'm going to make our 3 stacks. And it's pretty too. There you go. Now you can see the backs. They've got the little shadowed flowers on the back. It's very pretty. So, I've got our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one path. This conversation will be a different path. And this conversation will take us in a totally different direction from the other 2. And today, Friday, woohoo! Let's take the middle stack, or what I like to think of as what's right at the heart. Take that breath, roll those shoulders a little bit, then do our 3 in 1. Wow, they looked really, that's kind of cool actually. It's very dark. Wow. That is kind of cool. So I'm going to flip each card over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. Ooh, interesting. So, I did not do this particularly as reversals, did I? Well, I see plenty of reversals. It's been a while since I've used this deck. So, what do we have here? Today we have the Queen of Cups. And so here we have our Queen of Cups, and notice she's got water there. Queens are the element of water. And here we have her cup, and she's looking out. And water is our emotions, water is our feelings, water is our spirituality as we look out over it. We filter things through our spirituality, our feelings, and our emotions, don't we? But when it's reversed, sometimes we let our feelings and emotions get in our way. Like I was projecting already on how my day was going to be. So if I was having these negative thoughts and ideas, it's because I was filtering them through how I felt. Not a positive filter that says, I'm just going to make this a great day. But it's when all those feelings and things start building up. And so when she's reversed, it's about how are we feeling, where are we at, and it's a good time for us to check in. The next card is one we have not had in a while, and it's the 8, and it's the Death card. It's our major card. So here we can see she's got a skeleton here. And she's holding a little skull. And again, she's by water. So it's interesting because, water is how we cross the river Styx. Water is how we have to cross that great divide. And we see that we've got these birds here. So actually a very beautiful death card. Because what is death? Death is about transition. It's about moving from one point to another. Like we need to cross this river, but we don't see the other side of the river, do we? So sometimes we avoid that transition. Sometimes when we are not emotionally ready, we try and delay. We try and delay the inevitable. So let's see what the next card is. But what's on the other side? The Page of Wands. So the Queen is a court card. The Page is a court card. Court cards can be us. It could be somebody else or just part of the situation. Court cards, there are personalities. There are other people's personalities. Sometimes when I get more than one court card, it can be about a transition. It's about weighing two different aspects of our own selves, isn't it? Because a page is when we are open to learning. In the 1500s, a page was open to learning so that they could become a knight, so that a knight can learn to become a king. It's a progress. But a page is when we are open to something new. And the wands are our passions, our fires, our energies. But sometimes when we get drained, sometimes when we just let things kind of wear us down, sometimes when we're doom scrolling just a little bit too much, we don't realize that there's a transition that we can make. You know, somebody can say, hey, you know, and I'm watching somebody do this because they're doom scrolling a lot and they know it. But you can say, you know, you should put your phone down for a while. And they don't even see how much they're on it because it's almost like an addiction. Or, you know, if we're in a relationship and we're having difficulties, and, you know, divorce or ending a relationship is not the answer in most cases. Rare cases, it needs to happen, right? But like if we're having difficulties with a significant other or a person in our lives, instead of putting the blame on the other people, where am I at and what do I need to transition to be okay with this situation? We can't control people, places, and things. So, and then, Jenny, I was up till 1 a.m. talking to a dear friend about everything that's appearing in this reading. Yeah, well, that's cool. So, we haven't flipped over the advice card, but I think we can kind of see that it's a time to examine, how do we feel? How are we spiritually? How are we in the moment? Not projecting on where we're going to be tomorrow and what's the worst case news headline that's going to pop up. How are we in the moment? And then, you know, I feel I can do more being positive. I had a discussion with somebody because they took my lack of anger, my lack of emotional outrage as being apathy, as being not caring. But I truly believe that the moment we can stop seeing things through all the stuff that gets thrown at us, and this can even be in a relationship where it's an intentional, you know, when somebody gaslights us or when somebody is trying to divert our attention, you know, the moment in a negotiation in business or things like that, the moment you get angry is the moment you have lost. When I sold cars, the moment you got emotional is the moment you lost the upper hand. So it's kind of like this, where it's like we recognize the moment where we need to make that transition. So instead of using all of our internal emotions and spirituality and anger, you know, we transition and realize that, you know what? I am more productive when emotions are not guiding me, but my page of wands and my passion, my willingness to be open is when I can really make a difference in my life and somebody else's life. But it's a transition from emotional to being open and being fresh. But let's see what the advice card is. Oh my God, this is like perfect. Because here we have our T. The advice card is Temperance. As we walk this line, here's the entire world right here. And yet with Temperance, we learn our balance. What happens the moment we're off balance on this line? We fall. We need to, stop. We need to climb up on the tree again. We need to get on the line. We need to find that equilibrium. And that means not letting the rest of the world knock us off balance. So today, and for this weekend, how is my actions making me feel? How is reading the newspaper making me feel? How is my doom scrolling making me feel? How is it when I'm talking to somebody who I am having an angry discussion with making me feel? How is my going to work and my job? How is that making me feel? Because how we feel is our spiritual self also. Then we need to ask, because, you know, the minors are the day-to-day cards. The majors are the destiny. And we need to walk across this river to say, these things are super important, but I need to walk across this river so that I can become this page of wands and start over today with a fresh, brand new perspective and not be led around by my emotions like I've got that ring in my nose like a bull. Because the moment we let that stuff get to us, and that's how we get manipulated sometimes, then we're going to fall off this wire, and you can guess what happens from there. And so, with that, I hope everybody has that amazing, amazing morning, amazing rest of their day. Yeah, this was pretty cool. God, I really love this deck. I really need to use it more. So with that, take care, and I will be back here again on Monday, hopefully with another semi-positive message to get us through the day. So take care, everybody. Spread a positive message to somebody, and I will see everybody later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards.